Good evening, believers. How are you doing today? I hope that you are well. And if you are not, then I'm glad that you are here because we are going to try and get you a little bit better, okay? We are going to be traveling down the healing path after infidelity today for the Healing Hour Live. Now, if you don't know me, I am Love Coach Dasha, and that's what I do. That is my specialty. I was a love coach for years, and then I realized that almost everybody I was coaching had problems after infidelity. That was a big thing, and I decided I was going to focus all my attention on solving this problem, trying to figure out how that you can stay in your relationship after infidelity. You have been betrayed. You have been through a trauma, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to give up on the love that you have. This is the person that you want to be with, and I believe you. If they're still your choice, even after this trauma, I fully believe you. I trust your judgment, and I'm going to tell you everything that I possibly can to get you on the healing path, get you back right with the honey that you love. All right? So let me make sure I can see everything. Come on in here, y'all. Hello, hello. Glad to have you. Caroline, hey there. How you doing this evening? All right, let me refresh the page so I can see everything. So you all let me know how you've been doing today or this week. If it's been a rough week, if it's been a okay week, let me know. Let me know. All right, got everything up. I can see now. Okay, good. All right, so I'm going to start like I always start every single solitary time we do this, the Healing Hour Live. I'm going to tell you to do the same two things to start with, okay? The first thing I want you to do is to do your deep breathing. I know that's a simple thing. I know that seems like that's just too easy to actually help you with anything, but I had severe anxiety for years, even before I met my husband, even before the cheating had occurred, all of that. I had very bad anxiety. And I learned deep breathing techniques, and it helped. Doing that consistently brought my anxiety down. So then when I did get cheated on, and I was experiencing that same type of trauma, I recognized those feelings. I recognized those anxious feelings. And I was like, if the deep breathing worked for it then, it should work for it now. It's the same feeling. It may be a different cause, but it's the same exact feeling. And it did work. Doing my deep breathing consistently got me more centered, started helping me with those terrible thoughts. So we're going to talk about that fear speech going on in your head a little bit later. It will help you, but you need to be doing it, and you need to be doing it consistently, okay? Five times a day. That's what I'm recommending to you. It's not that much of a big deal. It's maybe about 5 minutes of your time altogether to do a simple breathing technique. I do 4-7-8 breathing. What we're going to do is blow out. Then we're going to inhale through our nose for a count of 4. It's okay if you have to breathe through your mouth. Hey, we got allergies going on. Then you're holding that breath for a count of 7. And then you're going to blow out like you're blowing out birthday candles for a count of 8. Now, when you blow, I want you to make the sound as well. We want to have a sound that triggers, I am calming down, I am centering myself, I am gathering myself up, I am not letting my thoughts just kind of flow wherever they want to. I'm in control here. You have good triggers and bad triggers. So if you can create those good triggers to help you, guess what? You'll have something to fight back against the bad triggers. All right? So we are going to do our deep breathing. Y'all come on in here and do some deep breathing with me. All right. I'm gonna count for you. We're gonna do 4, 7, 8. Okay, so we're gonna blow out first. Relax those shoulders, bring them down. Inhale through your nose. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 last time. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Beautiful, ladies. How are you feeling about that? Whether you're here now or you're on the replay, let me know. Have you been doing your deep breathing? Have you been focusing on that? Giving yourself that little bit of self-care every day, five times a day? How does it make you feel? Does it help? It should help. Deep breathing, I was a nurse for 20 years. Deep breathing, getting oxygen into your tissues helps with like all sorts of pain, okay? It helps with mental pain. It helps with physical pain. Getting oxygen helps you. We run on it. Hey, if you give it what the body is running on, guess what? You're going to feel better. So let me know about it. If you are here now or on the replay, let me know how the deep breathing does for you. How did it feel when you were just doing it with me? Does your head feel a little tingly? Do you yawn? Do you feel like, oh, I could go take a nap now? What is it that you're feeling when you do the deep breathing? All right. All right, the second thing that I am always going to tell you when you are dealing with this type of trauma is to use your journaling skills. Use a journal. Sit down with it twice a day. 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the evening. When you can't do anything else, when you are just devastated and you're in a pile on the floor, you can maybe still grab your journal and write down a couple of words for about 5 minutes just to talk about how you're feeling, just to talk about what you're thinking, and get those things down on paper. There's several reasons for this. Number one is you will always have a record. You'll be able to go back and say, oh, I thought things were terrible last week. I feel like everything has been awful and we haven't been getting along, but my journal that was written in my handwriting, obviously I was feeling this at the moment. In my journal, I said that everything was going well. I was feeling trusting, that we were getting along, we were doing fun things together. Now you know your brain can lie to you. Now we know that for sure because we can go back and we can look at the data and the data says that no, that's not true. What your brain is telling you is not true. I know it seems like when you're in the midst of this trauma that your brain is functioning at high levels, right? It seems like your brain remembers everything in the entire world at that point, but it does not. Your memory sucks under stress, okay? You are going to believe that things are horrible when they actually have been pretty good and you've been having a pretty decent time with your honey. So you do it for that reason, to write things down, to have a record so that you don't have to rely on your memory. You can rely on what you wrote down. You know that it happened. You don't have to guess about it. And another thing that it does for you is it gives you a record of data to be able to go back and look at. You can go back and say, all right, if you're writing your date and your time on every single solitary page that you write, you'll be able to tell if there's a certain day of the week or time of the day where you're going to feel that, where you're going to be triggered. You will know that because you've written it down repeatedly day after day. Oh, it's 8:16 again and I'm having a little anxiety. Okay, maybe that's the thing. So now I can anticipate that trigger coming up instead of letting that trigger chase me down and catch me. I can know that it's coming. I can anticipate it. And I can beat it back. All right. So you need that journal for lots of different reasons. You are going to need to do your date, your time, your level of anxiety. Date and time, just for those reasons I just told you, and then your level of anxiety so that you can tell in just one writing session from beginning to the end, how much did it help you? You can find out very quickly if you are starting to write down that you're a 6 at the very beginning of your writing session and you wrote a whole bunch of stuff down and you get to the bottom of the page and you're like, okay, where am I at now? You might discover that you're at a 4 or a 5 now instead of at a 6. You have written down and you have helped yourself immediately start to feel better just by that one action. So you need to be writing down all 3 of those things, date, time, and your level of anxiety, every journal. I don't care. Hey, Lori, glad you're here. I see other people here. Say hi, give me likes, give me love. Say hello to me. I will shout you out. I appreciate every single solitary one of you for coming and learning from me today. So I will definitely pay attention to you, and I will answer any questions that you have, okay? All right, so I got journals. I got journals everywhere. This is my little Golden Girls journal. Isn't that cute? All right, let's see. Let's open it up to Sophia. Have I given you any indication at all that I care? Open it right up to Sophia. Isn't that beautiful? All right, let's see. This one is plush. It's got a little sequin dolphin, and it's plush, but it's just writing paper. It's just an area to sit down and write. I have self-care planners. I have all sorts of things, all different ways that you can journal. Doesn't matter what kind of journal you use. Doesn't matter if you use pen, pencil, if you use fountain pens, if you, whatever. I don't care what you're using. Just sit down with your feelings. Give yourself that self-care 5 minutes a day. Okay? 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the evening. All right? Can we do that? You all let me know if that, am I asking something crazy? Am I asking something too much for you? Let me know if journaling twice a day for 5 minutes is too much. All right. Alicia, hello. How are you doing? Glad that you're here. Caroline, you said that you like that I did good. I'm glad. The breathing, the journaling, those are two things that are always going to start to help you. That is any kind of trauma. Okay, any kind, whatever you're dealing with. If you're dealing with some trauma, you can go back and rely on Old Faithful, breathing, and journaling. You can always sit down with it. You can always take some of the edge off with a little bit of self-care like that. All right. All right. Glad you all are here. Glad you're here. I absolutely love telling you about everything. Let me know if you have questions, if you have thoughts. If something I say sounds like it's absolutely crazy to you, let me explain it to you, okay? All right, let's see. The next thing that you can always do, the next thing that you can do, and you are in control of as far as fixing your trauma, is being grateful, having a gratitude practice. That's why every single week I do Thirsty Thursday in the group. If you are not in my Love After Cheating group, seriously, you need to get on that, okay? You need to get in there and get in there with me. If you're watching me on Instagram, if you're watching me on YouTube, come on and get in the Love After Cheating group, because this is a huge group of women. This is 3,600 women right now. And Facebook is apparently pushing me because like 100 more people came this past week. So you've got to get in on this. This is all about being in a group of women where we're all staying. Okay, that's what we're doing. There are some people who are just getting to the end and they're just like, I just need to go ahead and get a divorce. Yeah, that happens sometimes, but for the most part, everybody in there is trying to stay. They are trying to work things out. They are trying to get to a better place. The advice, leave them, is not allowed in there. It's actually one of the rules of the group not to tell other people to leave their relationships. And I do enforce that. I go back and erase a whole bunch of those comments on a regular basis saying, girl, you should just leave. You just walk away. Get away from him. No, we're not doing that. We're doing something a little different. We are working on it. We are fixing this. We are getting what we want out of life. We are getting the person that we want to be with just because we want them. All right. They did wrong. Yes, absolutely they did. But we are learning about forgiveness. We are learning about healing. We are learning about reconciliation in the group. So if you haven't been in the group, come on, jump in the group. But so many people have joined this week, and I got a whole bunch of good Thirsty Thursdays to share with you. So I'm going to talk about the good stuff. Okay. Things that you can be grateful for, things that happen during your week. And if you have one for me right now, I will absolutely read it out and shout you out on the live. So let's see. Lou says, my husband has been very reassuring about my insecurities lately. And that's so good. It's so good when they're like that, when they're just like, here, let me comfort you. Let me help you. I understand that you're trying so hard to heal from this. Let me help you with this. I am loving on you. I am giving you that attention and that reassurance that you need. Good stuff. Absolutely beautiful, Lou. I'm glad to hear that for you. Shannon. Hello, Shannon. Shannon said, my husband is a new man. Girl, that's some strong words there. That touches me, all right? He accepted the Lord and he's completely changed. Then we found out we were not only pregnant, but pregnant with twins. And I'll be 44 next month, girl. Girl, that's something else. This is a miracle only God could do. We hadn't really been physically intimate for years, but now we can't get enough. We have been restored and we're literally having a rebirth. And she put the verse, cast all your anxiety upon him, for he cares for you. 1 Peter 5:7. I know that's right, Shannon. I am so glad for you. I'm so glad that you are in a better place. You're feeling like your mate is stepping up and being the man that you know he was. You knew. You were right. You showed everybody around you. No. Yes, he messed up. Yes, he did. But he's better than this. I know he's better than this. Hold on. Let him get himself together. And you did that, and voila. You're having great times. You're about to have twins. Things are going well. Girl, good job on that. All right. Glad to hear that for you. Lori is here. Lori said, for a brief moment, my crown tilted and my mindset was off. The good news is our R&R session last night reminded me to fix my crown, walk upright, reset my mindset, and represent myself as the queen I am. Such good stuff last night. That is Lori. Lori is in my recovery and reconciliation program. That's my membership. That's my monthly membership. We have a meeting every week. We talk, we chat, we try and figure things out. You know, sometimes every now and again, there's like one person there. You get me for a whole hour and we can just talk about whatever it is that's going on with you. But if you're interested in my recovery and reconciliation program, hit me up. I just changed my email. It is info@lovecoachdasha.com. Voila. So you can always hit me up. If you are interested in one of my programs, go ahead and email me. And if you are interested in being on the email list, you want to get emails from me, go ahead and hit me up on that email. info@lovecoachdasha.com. All right, Eliska says, we are on vacation. Oh, now. And my partner is being attentive, helpful, and sweet more than usual. I am trying to enjoy it and not jump to conclusions on his agenda to just get in my pants. Okay, it's vacation time. He's been good and sweet. Go ahead and let him in. Go ahead and do it. Go for it, girl. Get happy about it. You are progressing. Things are going so much better with the two of you. Go for it. Have as much fun as you possibly can with your clothes on and with your clothes off this vacation, okay? Let's go do that for me, okay? I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for lots of fun sex and lots of fun with each other, all right? Glad to hear that for you, Aliska. And then Danielle, hey there. Danielle said, we mostly had a work friend who was female. She was texting him 5 days a week, asked if he thought she was attractive, stroked his beard and more. I know she has issues and PTSD, and I tried to set boundaries, but she would ignore it and didn't know what no meant. I finally told my husband, I can't deal. It's me or her. He said, all you had to do was say you were done. I know you weren't a big fan, but thought everything was okay. You're my best friend. It's no contest. Then he blocked her and her husband. Go ahead on now. That's what I'm talking about now. Yeah, he blocked everybody. He blocked the whole block. And we are 3 years out. I am so proud of you speaking out for yourself, let them know, okay, I'm trying. But homegirl obviously is interested in you. She's obviously trying to be sneaky. I can't deal with it. And he was like, I will bet you she will be dropped. I know that's right, Danielle. That is fantastic news. 3 years out, doing well. Good job. All right. So excellent. I love hearing good news on Thirsty Thursday. You gotta celebrate every little thing, every big thing. You need to be celebrating everything, because when you're in the midst of trauma, the trauma will tell you that everything is awful all the time. And then if you don't acknowledge the good things, then that's the memory you have. You have the memory of everything was awful. Every single solitary day, it was god awful. And I can't believe that I made it through it. No. We don't have to think like that. You have good things that happen during a day. Pay attention to them. Be grateful for them. Wallow in them. Tell other people, because that's how you reinforce it. You enjoy it and you tell it and you make sure that you are showing appreciation for it, showing that gratitude for the good stuff in your life starts to counteract the thoughts about the bad stuff that's happening in your life. So get on that. Gotta say good stuff. Make sure if you've got a Thirsty Thursday, you go ahead and you let me know. All right. Let me know if something good has happened for you this week. Let me see. One last thing that I always do with you. I know that there is a whole bunch of, I want to know all the information. I want to have all the answers to all the questions. And if I don't do that, I can't heal. I want you to know that belief that if you don't know all of the details that you're not going to be able to heal, that's a lie. Okay? And that's one of them thoughts that come from your brain from that trauma that is trying to stop you from healing. It's trying to say, well, oh, you don't have all the pieces. You don't know every single solitary moment of this affair, everything they did, everything they thought, everything they felt. You don't know it, so you can't possibly heal from it, right? No, that is not true, okay? It is a trick. All right, it is a trick of your brain. Your brain is telling you this, but it is not true. You do not need all of those answers. But your brain wants to ask questions, right? It makes you feel better. It makes you feel like more connected. When you get an answer, you feel like, oh, okay, we are still who we're supposed to be, and he's giving me these answers, and I feel a little bit better. I feel like, okay, I can trust him a little bit more. I can get a little bit closer. So instead of asking questions about the affair, I suggest asking positive questions, and I have a deck. I do. We go over this every single week. This is the And deck from the healing edition of the And deck, and it is the skindeep.com. Can everybody see? All right. If you go to the skindeep.com, you will be able to find those decks, and there are decks for parents and children. There's long-term relationships. There's all types of good decks in there, and they ask good questions. Things that you can dole out a few questions to each other, sit with each other. And the best part about it is if you don't want to answer a question, then all you have to do is like look into the other person's eyes for like 10 seconds, or I think it's 20 seconds. But you have to sit and you have to connect if you don't want to answer the question. But the questions are really good. So it's not like they're really threatening questions. Every now and again, I get one that may create a little bit of a scuffle, a little bit of an argument. But for the most part, they're really good questions to ask. And then that satisfies that thing in your brain that is dying for you to ask questions. Caroline, you said, I'm worried that it will always be in issues, that I always have triggers. I don't know how to make my marriage not feel tainted. Oh, girl, it's so much to that. I'm glad you asked that. We're going to talk about that, all right? We're going to talk about that. Let's see. You will have triggers, but you will not be as affected by them as you are now. Okay, there are still things that are in my head because those triggers are so persistent and they create new pathways in your brain. It takes a while for them to completely fade away. Mine are pretty much faded, but every now and again there's one that'll pop up on me, but I know what it is. I know what's going on when I feel it, and so then it doesn't take me by surprise and it doesn't ruin all my progress. So, but we're going to talk a little bit more about that, Carol. Let me give you a few of these questions, all right? This is the first one. This one says, what's one experience you wish we shared, but we didn't, and why? Oh, that's a good question. I like that. My husband went to Jamaica, and I've never been. And that's one experience I wish we had shared. But it's okay. That's all right. Let's see. What surprises you most about our connection? That's a good question, right? Good stuff. What surprises you most about our connection? All right. And one more. Let's see. I've been doing this for like 6 months. I still haven't. I do like 3 cards a day. I still haven't run out of cards to show. And what do you think I get out of our relationship that I may not be aware of? That's a good question. That's a good one. What do you think I get out of our relationship that I may not be aware of? What do you think I get out of our relationship that you think I might not be aware of? That's a good question. So all of those are good questions. It satisfies that need to connect without giving yourself a whole bunch of information that is not going to be helpful to your healing. Knowing every detail of what they did and what happened between them is not going to help you heal, okay? It's going to make you miserable. You're going to be thinking of those things for the rest of your doggone life because you have given yourself so many details that there's nothing left for you to do but mull them over and think about them and play them over and over again in your brain. So don't do that to yourself. If you haven't done it yet, don't do it. If you are still asking questions, cut it out. Okay? You don't need that information. It is not going to be helpful to you trying to heal this whole situation. Okay? You with me on that? Everybody with me? All right. So let's see, lots of good questions today. You all are with me. I did not attach the questions to the top though. Hold on one second. Let me find that. I'm going to answer Caroline first because you're here live with me. But if you have questions, if you have comments, thoughts, complaints, whatever, go ahead and hit me up. And I can't find my... I could have swore somebody had posted questions. Okay, skip it. I ain't even going to keep on taking up time. All right. We are going to go back to what Caroline was saying. Caroline said, I'm worried that it will always be an issue, that I always have triggers. I don't know how to make my marriage not fit. Okay. The thing is, that is coming from the trauma. Your brain is called the amygdala. It's making up like the worst case scenario of everything. So what it's saying to you is this will never end. You are always going to feel like it's never going to get any better. I don't know how in the world that you could ever be with somebody like this. All right. It's telling you all that. But in reality, that's not even realistic that you will never get over this. People heal. We heal every single solitary day. People heal from all sorts of terrible things. This is just another terrible thing that you are able to heal from. You can heal from it. Do not listen to that voice, okay? That voice is telling you something that is not true. Your marriage is not tainted, okay? This is something that happens to like everybody. It's so many people. I was, coaching people and so many people trying to hide it, but it's happening all over the place, okay? Since there were more than two people on the planet, there has been cheating. Okay, it's historical documents, in literature, in art, there has always been cheating. So this does not taint your marriage, okay? What will taint your marriage is never being able to let go of it, all right? Never being able to get past it, always dragging it back with you everywhere you go, dragging that baggage along, trying so hard to keep it in the forefront of your mind. And that is an effect of the trauma. The trauma is just trying to do that. Your trauma, that little part of your brain, the amygdala, it's trying to tell you all these awful things so that you will back away, that you will stay behind a wall, that you will isolate yourself, and that you will not get closer again. That's the only thing that can taint your marriage. The fact that this happened, it's just one of those things that happen. It's a terrible thing that happened. Yes. It is traumatic that it happens. Yes. But it does not mean that your marriage itself is tainted. You love him. He loves you. That's good. Okay? That's where the whole thing started from. You loving each other. Okay? If that is still there, that is not tainting or anything, okay? You are just living your life and getting through a hard time, which is exactly what you vowed to do. Remember in the vows it says for better or worse? Guess what? This is what they were talking about. I know everybody says that that's not true. That is a lie. That has always been one of those four worst things. Cheating has always been one of the four worsts that you could be dealing with inside your marriage. You went into this knowing that bad things could happen. That doesn't mean anything for your marriage. Your marriage is supposed to rise above the things, okay? The circumstances are always going to happen. Whether they are your fault, whether they are his fault, whether they are outside people's fault. circumstances are always going to be there. Okay. We're grown-ups. We got to deal with day-to-day life. It sucks sometimes, but your marriage is supposed to be something that's above that, something that we're going to connect. We are going to survive this type of stuff together intact. And that is a decision that you have to make. That's why the first step of the dreams formula is your decision. You got to make that decision. You got to choose what you want your life to be. If you choose that it's just tainted forever, then that's what will happen. But if you choose that, no, we're going to heal. We're going to get to a much better place. My marriage is not tainted by this. My marriage is freaking wonderful. He's wonderful all the time. He's always getting to be a better and better husband because he looks at me and he's like, you must have really loved me to come through all of that stuff with me. You really did. I am so glad I stayed. I'm so glad that we worked out. I'm so glad that you chose me and you don't want to leave me because I deserved it, but you were such a good wife that I'm going to try every day to make you smile and not make you cry anymore. That's where we're at. And it's been like that for years now. You can get there where he's always trying to make you feel special. He is always trying to give and pour into you, but you've got to start healing first. You got to do that because if you don't start healing, no matter what he does, it will never reach you. You are behind a wall, you are cut off from him, and you're never able to actually receive it. All right. So that is the key thing. If you are worried that there will always be an issue, that you'll always have triggers, we're healing. That's exactly how you prevent that from happening. Working on it day to day in, day out, even when it's difficult, even when it's stressful, you still work on your own healing because you're only in control of yourself. You're not in control of anybody else. You're not in control of him. You're not in control of the other person. You are only in control of you. And you can absolutely heal yourself. So if you go for that, you got that in your brain, you got the decision made, and then you start dealing with fear speech. That's what we're talking about today. The fear speech is the second part of the dream formula. If you start dealing with those thoughts in your head, start fighting back against them. You say, I am not going to suffer from this forever. This is a temporary situation. We are going through some things right now, just like all couples do. When we come out the other side, we're going to be closer. We're going to be better. We're going to be reconciled. We're going to be healed. That is what I plan on happening with my life. I understand thoughts that you're trying so hard to keep me safe, but I'm not asking you for safe. I am asking for love. I am asking for forgiveness. That is what I'm asking for. And that's what you follow. Does that make sense to you, Caroline? Is that I kind of get all over the place sometimes, but let me know if that makes sense to you. Zoe, hey there. Glad you're here. All right. Everybody else that's here, some likes, some highs, some love. Let me know. Let me know that you're here. Caroline, good. That makes sense to you. Fabulous. All right. Seems like something you can do. You just, it's consistency. It's just choosing your path and not being deterred from your path. And that is something that all women are capable of doing. We are very good about choosing what we want and going for it. And that's what we need to do with this whole situation. If you want to heal, that's going to be the way that you do it, is even when you're afraid, still choose that I'm going to heal. This is going to be fixed. I'm going to feel better. All right. All right. Ebony, glad you're here. Hello, hello. Let's see. I had good questions. There was good questions in the group. I don't get to answer everybody in the group because, like I said, there's like over 3,000 people there. There's a whole bunch of questions during the day. I haven't even gotten to all of the anonymous posts that have been put in, so I got to post those too. But I saw some good questions today, so I was like, okay, I'm going to answer a few of these questions. You all let me know if you have questions, but I'm going to answer a few of them from in the group. All right. Let's see. Ebony, since you're here, let me go ahead and start with yours, because this is a really good question. All right. Why do we care to know why they cheat? Isn't that weird? Like, why do we want to know why? Like, why is that such a big deal? Like, why is that an obsessive thought that we have? Because It is the fear that we're not good enough. That's what it is. That's what it all comes down to. We are afraid that their problem is actually a problem with us. That's all it really comes down to. There is the part of your brain that wants to know why so that you can prevent it from happening. But that's not real. That's another lie. That's another trick from your trauma. It's trying to mess with you and trying to make you believe that that is within your power. It is not, okay? It is not within your power at all to be able to say, okay, I know why he did this, so I'm going to stop it the next time I see these things happening. No, that's not within your power. You can't control anybody but yourself. You cannot do it. And trying to is going to make you miserable, and it's going to make him miserable, and it's going to make reconciliation extremely difficult. You just can't do it. You can't control anybody else. So what you need to be focused on with the why, the more important thing with the why is, can I have compassion for why you did it? If I'm so hell-bent on finding out the reason, okay, let's use it for a good reason. Because if you're just trying to find out, oh, he just never loved me, if that's where it's going to, you're never going to get the right answers. You're never going to feel like you have a complete understanding of what's going on if you just make it all about you, if you just believe that from the very beginning. But if you're like, okay, well, all right, let's try and figure this out. Let's see if I know some things about him. Let's see if I can gather some clues and figure out exactly what was going on in his brain that made this very bad idea seem like a good idea. That is what you need to know. And can you have a little bit of compassion for that? Can you give grace and mercy for that? And that's hard. But if you know why, then you've got that explanation as to what was going on in their brain. Even if their brain was a little scrambled, you still got that explanation. And you can say, okay, if you were going through something and you were just having a hard time and it seemed like this was a good idea at the time, or you were depressed, or you were sick, or you were living out the stupid fantasies that other people have put in your brain since you were a kid, lots and lots of reasons why. Okay, I can have a little bit of compassion for that. I can understand where that might have come from in you and why you might have felt like that was a good idea. Even though it hurt me, I can still see, I can put myself in your shoes, have a little empathy for you, and give you that grace and give you that mercy for knowing why. All right. So the reason why we want to know why is because our brain is screaming at us that if we have that information, we can actually do something about it. We can change it. We cannot. Okay. All we can do is decide whether that why is good enough for us to give a little compassion to the person that we love. And honestly, for most things, you should be kind of willing to give compassion to the person that you love. You're not asked to do that with anybody else. This is like your husband. This is your mate. This is the person that you want to spend your life with. You don't have to forgive everybody, but if you might want to forgive the person you want to live with for like the rest of your life. That one person gets a little bit of special treatment. And there's nothing wrong with that. That doesn't make you wrong. It doesn't make anything really, except for the fact that you're an understanding person and you are going to give more to the person that you're going to spend your life with. That's all it means. All right. So that's it. That's the answer to why we want to know why. Let me know, Ebony, does that make sense to you? Am I crazy? All right. Good question though. Because that's always a big question is why? Ebony, you with me on that? Okay, you like that? It's it's a little complex, but you got it. You with me? BJ, hey BJ, how you doing? He said, I have wonderful news. Oh, I love it. It makes my heart flutter when I hear that. All right. Your advice worked wonders recently. Thank you so much. Now I just need to heal from what happened to us and the trauma. But all in all, I think we're on our way to recovery. Yeah, make me dance in my seat. Love you, hon. Love you too, BG. I'm so glad that my advice worked for you. I try not to tell you any junk, okay? I come to you with the most basic, the most straightforward advice that I possibly can about how you can take back control and heal and get what you want. That's all I'm interested in. I am very much a feminist. I want women to be able to have exactly the lives that we want. And if your life is going to include this person, I can tell you how to be with them. I can tell you how to be calm, how to be cool, how to be collected, how to get through this trauma and get back on track with your honey. So I am so glad that it worked for you. Thank you so much for letting me know. It makes me happy. All right, PG, wonderful, wonderful. Let's see another. Oh, here's a good one. This one even I need to post. I need to put hashtag Thirsty Thursday up here. But Raylene said, okay, I won't read the whole thing because it's long, and yeah, we only got about 10 minutes left, but she said, hello, I wanted to write a post because I see so many women losing hope and just going through things from the beginning. I just want to let you guys know it gets better. It's been 5 years for me, and I will say that things have improved significantly. If you have made the difficult choice to stay and work things out, that's only the first step. You're right about that, Raylene. Got to get past that first step, though. That making that decision is a super important one. Let's see. You said when someone gets cheated on, the world tells you to leave. Cheaters never change. Every song about cheating ends with a breakup. You know what? So many of them do. And then there's ones like, what you call it? SWV. I'm so into you. I listened to that the other day, and I was like, oh yeah, he was cheating. Oh, okay, she was all in love with him, and I don't think she actually got with him at the end of the song. But anyway, but in reality, a lot of women make the same choice that we all have. Trying to tell you, she's saying that she's still in the group before because she has triggers. She wanted to give some advice, tell some things that she has used and has gotten from other people, or she wished she had gotten from other people. Number one, this is your choice, not your family, not your friends, your spouse, but all on you to make what is a correct decision for yourself. Only you live with your choice. That's the first part of the dreams formula, making that decision. It's all about you. Don't make it about anybody else. Don't put this on your kids. Don't be like, oh, I'm only staying for the children. No, that is too much to put on children. If you want to stay, you are staying because you want to stay. Don't make any other excuses for it. Says be very, very careful who you choose to tell your story to. You forgive, but your friends and family don't. She said a relationship will always be under scrutiny. Every single bad moment makes people think that you're breaking up or that you guys won't last. Honey, yes, you telling the truth on that. Don't ignore your pain because it comes out when you least expect it and other ways you never imagined. She gave a whole list. Everybody go back and read what Raylene said. She gave some strong points here. Triggers. I still get triggers by random things, and it used to really, really break me. But now I take the triggers, have my moment where I think about it, and then focus elsewhere. I have to feel and hear my own feelings. That's so true about those triggers. Your brain will be screaming at you. Okay, we need to acknowledge it. We need to hear it. We need to see if it makes any sense. Check it out. Turn it over in your brain. Feel the feeling. Don't try and just stuff it down. And then deal with the trigger. It's a beautiful thing. It works if you work it. All right. Thank you so much, Raylene. You gave such a good post in the group. If you're in the Love After Cheating group, go find Raylene's post. Excellent stuff. All right. And let me make sure. Any questions? All right. Oh, got questions. Ebony said, because Joshua has a way. I try, girl, I try. You said, will the 180 work even if you filed for divorce and moved out of your marital home? Usually, yeah. I've seen people come back from, I'm going to sign papers to, okay, yeah, we'll come on home. Let me come on back to the house. Using the 180 usually works. I always add in a text in the morning. Good morning. I hope you're going to have a great day. I love you. I miss you. Let's say from the very beginning, I have changed my mind. I want my marriage to work. I want my husband. I want my home. I want my marriage. And just, all right, Don't give any reason for him to have to text back. I know that we're used to having conversation where you leave it open and you try and have the person come back and contact you and say something back to you. Try and make it so you don't ask any questions. You don't use any statements that will make him feel like he has to respond to you. And then do that in the morning and the evening. All right, just in the morning when you first wake up. Good morning, my love. I miss you. I'm thinking about you. I hope you have a great day. And then at night, good night. I'm getting ready to go to bed. I hope you had a fabulous day. I miss you. I love you. Hopefully I'll talk to you later. Just that bit of message in addition to the 180, because that little bit of message is consistency. It's like, okay, I changed my mind. I get that I kind of threw off. Yeah, I kind of got off the track here. I got papers and the whole 9 yards, but that's not the way I really feel. And I'm going to show you that that's not the way I really feel. I'm going to show that. Wakanda, hey girl, how you doing over there on Instagram? But yeah, so just add that call into the 180. The rest of the 180 works. If you are reaching out that morning and that evening and not giving him any questions, not giving him any reason to respond to you, when he does respond, you'll be overjoyed because you didn't ask him to respond. You didn't say, oh, hey, call me back, here, talk to me. You didn't ask any of that. You just reached out to him with love and affection, and he's going to respond to that. And if you're doing the 180, when he does call, try and be the one to get off the phone first. You talk to him, you be enthusiastic about talking to him. You can tell him you love him and everything, but kind of try and make sure that you're not the last one to want to go. Be like, all right, I really, really enjoyed talking to you. I'm so glad that you called me. I got to run, do some things. Can you call me back a little bit later? Never say, I'll call you back, okay? Don't do it like that. Just say, can you call me back a little bit later? Okay, all right, well, I would love to talk to you again. All right, I love you. Bye, all right? Keep it like that. The 180 usually works. Caroline, you're asking what the 180 is? Girl, as a matter of fact, you can go in the search in here and put in 180 and it'll show you the whole thing. But the 180 is a list of 35 steps that you use when you separating, or when the person is still all wrapped up in limerence and they're still dealing with the other person. So if they want to get divorced, or you had started to want to get divorced, but you want to reconcile, you want to bring it back together, you can use the 180. The 180 is showing that you're doing your own thing. You're not all needy and for the relationship, but you are available for the relationship. You would like the relationship, but you're not going to fall apart or be all crazy if you don't have the relationship. It's a centering. It's trying to get yourself to not be always reaching out and always so clingy and desperate and trying so hard to understand and trying to reach out. You don't have to do all that with the 180. You're supposed to be doing things for yourself, going out, having fun, so that you actually have something decent to talk about. When he does call, when he does come around, he's like, oh, well, I haven't heard from her in a while. Then you have a story to tell. You'd be like, oh, yeah, we haven't talked in a little bit. Guess what I did this past weekend? And then you have something decent to talk about instead of, oh, our relationship going to work? Are we going to be together? That gets boring. We don't need to do that. So yeah, put it in the search bar in the top of the page, Caroline. It will show you all of the steps. The only one that I say not to do is 13, which is don't say that you love them. I don't feel like that's being authentic. If you love them, say you love them. That's for everybody. If you love somebody, say that you love them, because you never know when your time is going to run out, and you want to have always said I love you to the people that you love no matter what, even if they're being a jerk. If you still love them, you still say that you love them. All right, cool. All right, you got that? Fabulous. Good. Caroline. All right. Let's see. Any other questions, comments, thoughts, complaints? Let me see. One more question from the group. Instead, I hate the feel. Carrie said this. I hate the feeling I don't know everything, and omissions are still lies. Okay, that's actually okay. That's two separate things. All right, the first thing is I hate the feeling that I don't know everything. You will not. This is just stopping you from healing. That's another trick from your brain. I don't know everything. I hate that feeling. I'm feeling like I need to protect myself because I don't know everything. That is what your brain is doing to you on that, okay? So that's not really real because that's impossible. You would never know everything because you weren't there, all right? There's always going to be his version of the truth. There is going to be her version of the truth. There is going to be your version of the truth. And then there's going to be the truth that's somewhere in there. You don't have to know every solitary thing. It's just going to get in your way. All right. People experience life through their own brains, and we don't share brains. So our perception is our reality. So what he's saying may indeed be the whole truth for him. Okay. Except that he's telling you all of his truth. All right. Instead of saying that you don't know everything, he's telling me all of his truth, all of that he has. And then you're saying omissions are still lies. Okay. What if he genuinely forgot? What if you think that the details are more important than he ever did? Because we do. We feel like the details of this are super important. We have to have them. They are super important to our healing. And the details to him meant very little. He didn't remember the things that you're asking because it just didn't mean that much to him. I know that is annoying. I know that kind of makes you feel some kind of way, like, oh, you were willing to risk our whole lives together over something that wasn't that important. But if he was in his own head and in his own pain and in his own issues, that is what was taking up his brain. He wasn't focusing on the details with this person. He was focusing on his own stuff. Does that make sense? I know that seems strange, but that's not what he was focusing on. You focus more on that because it became a danger to you. And your brain says, I need to know all about all dangers in order to stay out of danger. But that was never that important to him. He didn't have the motivation to remember the way that you think that he should remember. Does that make sense? Everybody is here with me? So even though, omissions are lies, omissions on purpose are lies. Yes, you are right about that. But if he actually genuinely doesn't remember, then that's not a lie. That's just he doesn't remember. It was not, that particular detail was not as important to him as it is to you as you're trying to heal. And that's why I'm saying all of those details do not help you. They do not help you heal. They do not fix everything. I know you want to know everything. It will not, that by itself will not stop it from happening again. All right. Carolyn, that's helpful. All right. Good. Ebony, all right. Makes sense. It seems like it's super important. You're like, how could you not know this? It was not about that though. It wasn't even about the other person. It was about him. So he wasn't paying attention. He wasn't all into what she was wearing. what they did together, what she said to him. He wasn't all interested in that. He was in his own feelings, in his own head. So, I get how you feel like omissions. If they're purposely leaving stuff out, that is a lie. But I am going to say, don't ask. Okay? I am going to say it. I'm going to say it and I'm going to stick by it. Do not ask. Don't do that to yourself. Stop digging. You're deep enough. You're already staying. You're already having enough trouble with staying without finding out more information. Stop digging. You don't have to go any further. You need to figure out how to start healing. And then a lot of the time, you will get more answers in the healing. Okay, when you have started to heal, when you're letting that wall down, when you're talking more about normal stuff on a regular basis and not just, oh, you cheated on me, things come to the surface. Memories will surface that did not surface when you were interrogating him. When the hot light is on you, okay, and you are being interrogated, your brain is stressed. You're not going to remember all the details, okay? So when you have gotten to a more relaxed place, you're actually going to find out more information. Now, you can't let that just trigger you and make you like shut down, because then it won't happen again. But you want to understand so that you can have compassion for them. And then even if you do feel like you can possibly stop it again, you're getting more information by healing than you would be by questioning him, interrogating him, and demanding to know the answers. Does that make sense too? You all let me know. I know this is not stuff that people tell you. I know this is not the regular stuff. I know it's always, oh, no, you got to know everything in order to heal. It's not true. That's not true. I promise you it is not true. You do not need all that. Ebony said, one other question. What causes men to fall out of love? Everybody falls out of love. Everybody does. You may not realize it, but everybody does feel that, oh, I love him so much, and your hormones are going, and the dopamine and the serotonin are popping, and you're feeling all good. That happens to everybody, but you can't stay like that. Nobody does. That feeling lasts about 9 to 11 months. That's about it. That in love feeling that you're talking about, that's about how long it lasts. It's long enough for you to be a little impaired. And so nature is like, hey, let me hook you up with somebody real quick. Let's see if we can have a baby popping in 9 to 11 months. That's what it is. That's what that feeling is. It's the initial chemistry to try and make you pair up and try and be together. That doesn't last forever. It doesn't. It doesn't for anybody. But the best part about it is it comes and goes. Sometimes it comes back. If you are doing loving things, if you are being in that same like situation that you were when you were feeling in love, you will be able to feel it sometimes. It'll come back in waves, and it's lovely, and it feels good, and your heart goes pitter patter, but you don't stay in love forever. All right. So that's what causes it, because it's all of us. Nobody can stay like that. That feeling is the closest that you can get biochemically to being high on cocaine. All right. It is the same thing as drugs. All right. It makes you feel the same way, and you're impaired on drugs. So you can't be like that for the rest of your life, or you will never get anything done. Okay. You will never get anything straight in your life, because you will always be pitter pattering around feeling the in love. Love, long-term love is a decision. Long-term love is, I am choosing you. I chose you back then. I feel the chemistry. I am attracted to you. I want you, but I don't need all the pitter patter to tell me that you're the right person for me. I feel like you're my partner. You're the person that I want to be with. And so I'm deciding on you. That's when it gets hard. That's when love and marriage gets a little bit difficult, because that's a decision. You have to actually make up your mind every morning. This is my beloved, and I'm going to treat them as such. Because, people forget. People get wrapped up in their own stuff, and they don't treat each other with the love and the respect that they're supposed to. And so then you end up feeling less in love. But really, that in love feeling, that was temporary. That did not last forever and ever. It can't. All right? That makes sense? It's the same thing with all of us, men and women. BG said, this is a very good question. Based on my experience, mine had an episode that caused our marriage to almost fall apart. Very simple reason. He seems to distract himself and avoid acceptance of some things that have happened to us. Yeah, and that's how a lot of people handle trauma. That's not out of the ordinary at all. Yeah, okay, that makes sense to you, Ebony? Okay, good. But yeah, BG, that's true. Honestly, they have episodes. Mine had some episodes. Like the last time that we were really dealing with him being like cheating and being out there, it wasn't even like, oh, I just want to cheat. It was like he had bipolar disorder and we didn't know it. And so he was suffering from it. He was having a whole bipolar episode. He was having a whole manic episode, and we had no idea that that's what it was. I finally got him into a doctor, but that actually takes a good long while to get somebody into a real psychiatrist who can actually diagnose you with something. Psychologists are the ones you talk to. You sit there and you do talk therapy. Psychiatrists actually prescribe medicine. They diagnose what the actual issue is and prescribe medication for it. So it takes a minute to be able to get into that. And, sometimes, they got issues. They got some problems. They got some experiences that have caused them to kind of make the whole thing fall apart. But you got to get help for that. You got to get help, get him on a better road. And like now he's excellent. Now he still feels it. He still has that mental disorder. It doesn't go away. It's chronic. It doesn't ever go away. And I am aware that it is possible that he could get into a manic phase and he could cheat again. I know that that is a possibility, but I have some compassion for him. I don't have to deal with that fearful thought all the time. I don't feel like it was his fault that he was mentally ill at the moment. So, okay, I'm not going to blame him from that. My fear speech is screaming, oh, he can do it again. Yes, he could. Yes, absolutely he could. He does have a mental illness that could indeed cause him to do things that he does not want to do, that he does not feel are in alignment with the things that he wants in life. Absolutely it could happen. But I'm going to believe the best of him. That's where it always comes down to with the thoughts. The thoughts can be there, but you've always got to choose what you want to do. And what you want to do is love them. What you want to do is trust them. And every time those thoughts come up and they start messing with you, you tell your brain, no, I know, I get it. I totally understand why you would feel that way, brain, but I still love him. I forgive him. I want to reconcile and heal with him. That is the direction that I'm headed in. I understand that you're trying to protect me, brain. I understand that you don't want me to be hurt again, but I can promise you I will be hurt again. I am going to have the person that I want along with me, though, if I am ever hurt again. All right? So, it's just constantly talking to those thoughts, telling those thoughts off, telling them what you actually want in your life instead of letting the fear decide what you should have in your life. Never listen to the fear. The fear is always lying. The fear is always trying to get you to do things that are not conducive to your healing. So if there is a fearful feeling, if you got that tension, that tightness in your chest, you can't breathe, you are getting all constricted, you need to really consider what you're about to do. You need to stop, hold on, pause for a moment, and say, the fear is what I'm feeling right now, and the fear is telling me to do this, so that must be the wrong path. That's not the healing path. That's the fear path. I'm not traveling the fear path. I am traveling the healing path. What is the opposite of what it's telling me to do right now? The opposite is what you should do. Whatever it is. If it's like, stay away from him, don't touch him, what you really need to do is go touch him, reach out to him, be close to him, as much skin to skin contact as you can possibly have. That is what you are needing in the moment. What your brain is screaming to take away, to back away and not do, that is, you need to do the opposite. Because if you do what the brain is screaming to do, what the fear is screaming to do, you're going to still be afraid. But if you do the opposite of what the fear is telling you to do, you are doing things that are brave and that are showing that, hey, at the end of this, after I went ahead and touched him, after I went ahead and got close to him, I felt better because he's my honey and he's the person for me. And that's what the person for you does, makes you feel better being near them. So, you got to listen to your fears and hear what they're saying and then do the exact opposite. All right. Does that make sense? Oh, good stuff. I love talking to y'all. I tell you, we're a little bit over. Any other questions, comments, thoughts, complaints, anything going on? Any other questions you want me to answer? I am fully here for you. You're welcome. I am glad to be here for you, Caroline. I am happy to answer your questions. And like I said, if you are interested in working with me, I am definitely interested in working with you. Go ahead and drop me a line, info@lovecoachdasha.com. I'm going to be launching my website soon. Things are going well. I'm going to do some things. I'm going to show you some things in the next few weeks here. If you do want to get in contact with me, you can also message me, Love Coach Dasha, on Instagram, Love Coach Dasha on Facebook. You can do that and let me know what you need from me. I am happy to help you along the healing path. And right this second, I have a program that is half off, only $297 for a whole 60 days of working with me, getting a session a week privately with me, and then a session a week in a group situation. And that group is starting officially on the 25th of July. So if you are interested in getting my program that is usually $597 for $297, and you are willing to be a testimonial for that program, which is why I'm tweaking it a little bit. I'm giving that group aspect to it. If you are interested in doing that, let me know. Go ahead and hit me up, or just go ahead and schedule in the Facebook group and in my link tree on Instagram. There is a link right at the top for a 45-minute after infidelity discovery call with me. So go ahead and click on that link, and you can just pick a day and time, and we can talk. All right. So I can tell you about my programs, tell you what I got for you to be able to help you along and get you on the healing path and to healing, to actual healing. All right. Let's see. Anything else? Let me make sure. All right. That is about it for right now. Let me go ahead and give you an affirmation for today. I got lots of cards. I gotta have some good tools here for you all. All right, let's see. Let's get a good affirmation going. Oh, this is interesting. Today I am flexible. Today I will adapt to changes in my life with an open mind and a positive outlook. I am all about that. Today I am flexible. Being rigid, you'll break. I promise you that. Being all stiff and being all rigid, when pressure comes, you're going to break. If you're flexible, if you can kind of move with it, if you can bend, if you can adapt, if you can see things with an open mind and a positive outlook, you're not going to be as likely to break. You are more likely to be able to survive the pressure and thrive after it, all right? So that's a good one. Today, I am flexible. Alrighty, y'all, that is about it for me. I don't think there are any more questions, so I am so glad that you came and you talked with me in the Healing Hour Live today. We will do this absolutely again next week, Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here in the Love After Cheating group and in my Love Coach Dasha group page on Instagram. And that's just about it for today. Thank you so much for showing up. So glad I could be with you today. And that's it. All right. Take good care of yourselves. Don't do what the fear tells you to do. And I will check you out again next week. All right.